Thank you for giving me the opportunity for this speech. This is my first visit to New Zealand, and I'm sorry I cannot speak English very well, so please understand my accent. The title is like this. I have a bachelor degree in civil and environmental engineering and have a master degree in software engineering. I'm old, I'm over 50. However, I think I must learn as long as possible because there is a lot of area that I don't know. I submitted the abstract and title as shown in the screen, and I assumed that the community maybe reject this title because of the without FOSS4G term. However, generously they accepted this presentation, so now I have the chance. Thank you again. Seoul is a large metropolitan city with a population of 10 million. This project used small, tiny radar for small local government. Because this trial, this attempt is the first time in South Korea, so we adopt one unit zone in the entire Seoul. The name is Gwanakgu. The Gwanakgu covers an area of approximately 5 by 5 kilometers. Its location is in the south of Seoul city and south from the Han River. This project is funded by the National Agency for Environment. Last month, the ministry has started to use the new name, Ministry of Climate, Energy and Environment. This is our sensor device. As we know, the radar sensor detects the reflected signal for the object, such as military aircraft. However, in these days, we are using this technology for detecting the cloud density for reducing the risk of the flood damage. The common weather radar is big size. The left upper photo shows radar size of the Osung Mountain in South Korea. Our radar device is tiny, the right photo. So we could install this device on the roof of the public building in this city, such as library or public service building. Jacobs, who are manufacturer of this device, is located in the same building as my company. We have been cooperating closely. This project has two main parts. One is a hardware and the other is software. I am a leader of the software part. Usually big size radar installed in the top of the mountain for minimizing the blocking effect. This approach has limit for the low altitude sensing. However, tiny radar can detect low altitude cloud. This is our front-end screen for the project. The OECD guided that if some city have more than 5% foreigner or migrant background, then the city considered as multicultural society. This year in September, Seoul exceeded this threshold with 5.2. So we needed to implement an additional web page in another language. However, at this time there is no English page yet, so I added some English balloons for temporary convenience. As you can see, the central section is the schematic map that illustrates rainfall intensity for each small zones. or rainfall intensity as last grid in millimeter for our unit. The left side of the page contains tabular information for each small zone, including details on rainfall intensity or forecast. The right side of the page contains tabular and chart information about the major streams and their water levels. The radar sensing interval is 1 minute. However, the stream system interval is 10 minutes for the end user. The screen is watershed mode. The primary focus of previous pages is on the administrative zone for the local government. However, as we know, the river does not consider the artificial boundary. Flood management is based on river and watershed boundaries as determined by physical terrain analysis. This page is designed for the flood expert. The previous page is intended for the local government. This page is about the contribution of the FOSS4G. The entire process has been dependent on FOSS4G. For example, we investigated the radar location and sensing radius in QGIS. We used vertex simplification in QGIS, and we used DEM terrain analysis using the QGIS. Right upper figure shows the main processes. Maybe we know well, removing the sink cells, calculating the flow direction grid, calculating the flow accumulation grid, calculating stream grid with the threshold, calculating the watershed delineation for designated outlet. We used PostGIS as the stable backend storage and GeoServer as the flexible web middleware. Of course, we used the open layers for our front-end technology, and we used the WMTS tile map service for our online base map. However, the requirements changed continuously, day by day. Because of the justification for the public safety, our team could not resist or maintain the initial scope of the project during project period. There was extremely high degree of uncertainty due to exploratory approach. So we adopt the agile software development process, such as Scrum. This approach provided more effective method compared to traditional methodologies, such as the waterfall development method. The FOSS4G gave us enough flexibility and affordability. For example, in the initial stage, we adopt various FOSS4G elements for our flexibility and performance for our development progress. Indeed, we exploit the merits of FOSS4G in the development page. After conducting enough POC, proof of concept, and prototyping of various designs, we stopped using them one by one. FOSS4G, GeoServer, open layers. I mean, we removed in the architecture, we removed FOSS4G from our operational data pipeline. We converted DBMS table into a CSV file and also converted open layers into a static image map. Of course, we had to sacrifice some features and functions. For example, our current map page does not offer the zoom in or zoom out picture. We do not offer. It is just a static image map. And if we already paid the big capex expense, I mean commercial product like on Oracle, then designer could not change the software architecture because of the sunken cost problem. Three years ago, there was big tragedy in Seoul by flash flood. The basement floor tragedy motivated various efforts. This project was one of them. Our system must be stable, robust, and simple. We decided that we should rely on software modules as little as possible. We should pursue simplest architecture. Of course, we did not substitute the FOSS4G with the proprietary product. I mean, commercial vendor-dependent products. We just pursue simple and minimal complexity in operational page. We believe the more features and more modules and more dependency cause more weak in software. I hope to emphasize again, the FOSS4G gave us wonderful flexibility and capability in development page. Currently, my active project is aiding the undeveloped country. This morning, I arrived at Oakland Airport. Until yesterday, I was in the field of some undeveloped country for reducing flood risk using spatial information. FOSS4G, including QGIS and so on, was a key and essential component of their daily work. For the FOSS4G is contributing to humanitarian activity. Our company has maintained a sustaining membership of QGIS for a number of years, and we are providing some small sponsorship to OSGU and GDAR. We are hoping to become a larger sponsor in the future. The left photo was FOSS4G last year. However, that was a Korea local conference. Presentation in English language is first time. Today is first time in my life, so please understand my accent. And maybe I can understand the various through question only. However, if I cannot answer you right now, then please give me the email, then I will reply all. This is all that I prepared today.
It was a wonderful presentation. Thank you very much. And it's really good to hear about appropriate technology, right? Even the fact that you simplified the stack is actually a really important lesson, and the fact she helps you do that. Any questions?
So without the database management system, how often do your flood maps get updated? Forgive me if I misunderstand how it works, but does it get updated every hour online or something like that?
Maybe you asked me, how can we achieve without DBMS?
How often do you update the maps?
How often? Okay. Yes, the device itself produces data interval in 1 minute interval, the hardware device itself. However, we decided the 1 minute is too short for end user, and the local for the administrator in the local government or citizens. So now we adopt the 10 minutes interval for the front-end page.
Thank you. Really interesting talk. Was it difficult to get permission to operate a radar? Was the government or military concerned about you operating your own radar system?
I'm sorry. Son?
그 군대에서나 그 정부에서 아빠는 그 레이더를 허가해 주는데 큰 어려움이 없었냐 이런 질문 같은데.
Okay. Okay. In this project, we do not use the military radar. The left bottom figure, the very small radar.
That one?
Yes, the left bottom
but-
figure. This is very small radar. And this is not for the military. And the fund was given by the Ministry of Environment in South Korea. They managed and they have the ownership of the device. Yes.
Any other questions? I was going to have one very similar. Is it legal? Is it okay to build your own radar at home, or that's a bigger thing than something that you would build at home? Could you build one and put it on your house with a walk and something that sends
Yes.
signals?
Maybe you asked. We must get the permission from the official government, especially in this project, the Ministry of Environment and also Seoul Metro City Mayor approved this project because we use the official property of the Seoul and the subdivision of the Seoul. They all allowed this project because the Seoul has great worry and concern for the flash flood, very dense in population, and we have a very big river, as you know, the Han River, and as we know, the climate change, the rainfall is very unpredictable. So our government gave us full support for this project. Yeah, there was no problem. And one more, as you know, the the radar device are using the radio electric radar wave, and the device use the reflectivity from the cloud. So we must get the special allowance for the radio frequency, the special wavelengths and frequency. Yes.
Any more questions? Oh, yeah.
Thank you for an excellent talk. I just want to know about the radar. Is it commercially available, or is it something that is exclusive for the government to use? What is the purpose in general of producing these devices?
Okay, thank you for a good question. The company, I'm not a member of the company. The company's main business is making radar device and selling the radar device. So the device itself is for sale. The product is you can buy from the company because that is not for the military device. Of course, the company JCOMs are working for the military area, Air Force. However, this device is purely for the civil usage, so there is no problem.
Yeah, one more question. We do have time for one more question.
Hello, I see two radar in the photo and the QGIS just two, right? Are you going to increase in more radar to cover the Seoul area?
Please wait. That's a very good question. Now we have only two radar. Maybe you can see the radar radius in the map. Just two. And two is enough for this small sub-administrative zone because this is not the entire Seoul. Just one of the subdivision of the Seoul. So two radars are enough. However, we and the Ministry of Environment has planned also. This is first year for this project. If we get a good result, maybe the next summer, maybe if we get a good result, the Ministry of Environment and the company, JCOMS and our company, hope to expand the entire Seoul, of course, to the another large city in South Korea. Of course, we hope to expand to the another country. However, that will be very long later story, and we now just focus to this small test bed, Hwanakbu, and we are focusing on this test bed itself. Yes, thank you.
I might have one more question. Does it mean that Korea does not have like overall radar coverage, or this is just to provide more detailed information for this region?
Thank you for good question. Okay. The left upper photo is traditional Korean weather radar, and the left photo and top of the mountain is the traditional radar. As you know, the Korea already have a big size radar network. Maybe I can remember 10 or 15. It's the large size radar. However, maybe as we know, the radar is not perfect for the flash flood. So we changed the strategy in the Seoul, especially to the test bed. We decided let's make a small radar. However, we put the small radar as much as possible in the dense city like Seoul. That is our strategy. And the result, I don't know, next year or the 2 years more. We need a time.
Okay. Thank you very much once more. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And we'll